He's a manifestation of my dream. We must have been dreaming the same thing
out there
we just looked up
on this cold, cold Tuesday night. I mean, it like went from almost real October fall, nice weather to just to December weather.
No, just windy. That's all.
Yeah, it's cold out there. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, we are here at IntellectualRadio.com. Here's the Life with Zemrah and my better half, Ed. And we, as always, we're so happy to be able to come and share our thoughts and feelings about life and love and happiness and coming out and working on my new CD, Love is Possible. We're going to play for you this evening a couple of my holiday songs, and I'm excited. One original, Christmas Cheer, and then another beautiful piece that everybody loves. And I did that, produced and arranged by Pierre Pollard. So we're really excited about that. We had a great evening on Sunday at Buddy Guy's.
Oh yes, great crowd.
It was a real nice evening, and I want to thank all my supporters and people that love coming out to hear me. They really came out and supported me, and it was a
especially
real
the out of towners.
Yeah, the out of towners. They were wonderful, and had it taped, so I'm looking forward to seeing the taping because they're going to use it for promotional purposes. And she had a great idea too about me doing maybe some live taping there for
do a live CD.
Do a live
right.
CD.
You're gonna bring good music back.
Place would be nice.
You're gonna bring some good music back.
Yeah. Well, that was that was my holiday show with Zemrah's Twist. Really nice. And I just really enjoyed it.
You singing too. You got a horse, girl.
Yeah. Well, I was fine until yesterday when I got to work. I was just, when I walked in that job, that's because I should be singing, not on no phone doing no insurance.
It's the office that did it.
Yeah. But it was wonderful. And we did Christmas music. We did a nice mix of music. And then I ended it, of course, with my wonderful signature song, Here's to Life. But I did it a lot different. And I want to have that put on tape so Earl can play that before during the holidays.
Right.
But anyway, we have joining us this evening that I'm very excited about is one of my great friends and minister, Bishop.
Favorite people in the whole world.
We love him so much. Is Bishop Carlton Pearson is joining
us
by phone and very shortly, and he's going to talk about his new movie that's coming up in January, I think, or the early part of next year.
Right.
2018. But anyway, we're not going to give any misinformation because we're going to have the man himself to tell us exactly what's happening in his life, in his world, and all the good things that's happening for a man that truly good and all the blessings. And that's all we wish for him always is blessings. He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah. Bishop Pearson, he's the author of the book, God Was Not a Christian.
Yeah.
And that brought about a lot of controversy. And his take on religion is so different, so fresh, and so new. He calls it new dimensions in thinking, basically, which is something we really have to look at and really do.
Well, we got that new thought thing going on. We got that from Johnny.
Yeah, I know, but everybody don't know about that. You know, we just didn't find out what we're talking about instead. I believe that some of the things that have been holding us back as far as progress is concerned, that's spirituality, religion.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later when Carlton gets on the phone. He'll break it down for you.
Carlton breaks down, knows how to break everything down just fine and just so precise and just wonderful. So looking forward to that. And then we have my assistant, Will DeBelt, will be joining us during our Tuesdays about her trip
Next
to
Tuesday,
the.
right? Next Tuesday.
Well, we're going to see if she's available, but she did the what is the all-inclusive? I'm going to have to let her tell you about that too. And then she has a Mediterranean cruise coming up that she's going to talk about.
This Wilderness Fun Travel Agency.
Yeah, and if you want great bookings or trips, she's the girl to do it. 239-962-56. Wilder knows how to book some trips, inclusive, and I mean she's awesome.
Well,
Dominican Republic.
Right? That's where they're going.
They just came back. No, they just came back from that trip, and she said it was absolutely wonderful.
Well, one of the things you're going to find that she believes that travel is one of the best educations you can get.
Oh, absolutely. To see the world and
right. So if you ever get a chance to get out of the country and go someplace else, do it.
Oh,
Take your children at least once or twice a year. Learn so much about other cultures.
It's very, very educational, especially for young people, young children that are students and going to school.
Right.
And that's one thing that I have to say about Ashley. All the traveling my niece does, and she within HR, but she does a lot of travel, and just as she's well-rounded.
Travel helps. Travel helps make you makes you a well-rounded individual.
Yes.
Gives you a bit different perspective on the rest of the world and other people.
I know I had never even been on an airplane until Prince Asiel gave me a trip to Israel.
Yes.
Liberia, I think, was the first trip that I went to. I had never even been on an airplane. And then that was the first trip that I went on when I went out of the country. I went to Liberia.
Everybody out there in Radio Land and on YouTube, if you ever get a chance, get out the country and go to Africa. You'll love it.
Yes. It's the place to go. I mean, it's really Americanized. People think it's not, but it's especially South Africa.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous.
But anyway, we are here, Zemrah and Ed, here at Here's the Life, Intellectual Radio. And before we bring Carlton on, we're going to hear one of my Christmas tunes. Yes. One of my... Have yourself a merry Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight, of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. The Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles and miles away. Now here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who have been dear to us, gather near to us once more. the face. Come and hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas night, right now. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days, days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together if the fates allow. Hang a shining star above the highest bough. Baby, have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Have yourself a merry Christmas right minute to call from this car. What?
No.
Oh, hello. That was my Christmas song that I love. And we're trying right now to get Carlton squared away. And come on there. You're the co-host.
I'm waiting to see what you were doing. Carlton's will be calling us in momentarily. And he's one of my favorite bishops. His interpretation of the Bible and religion is just off the chain. It will give you something to think about. And really, really. And I'm sorry he had to leave Chicago, but we got him on the air, and now he's going all over the world, taking his message to Africa and anywhere else, California, and the movie that he's doing about his life in the ministry, which stems from when he was a teenager. up until today. So he's a fascinating individual, and you must hear his take on the state of the world today.
He's just so his conversation is so well rounded. We remember we had our panel discussion, and he was on that panel for relationships.
Right.
And that was a great show. We had it was him. We had Reginald Torian, bless his soul.
Of the Impressions.
Yeah.
The late Reginald.
And then we had we had the bishop. We had an entertainer. We had a brother that was had a partner, and then we had another guy that was single.
Right.
And it was, I mean, it was really good.
You tried to cover the whole spectrum of the male
And that's what we did.
existence, from professional, everyday people, hardworking people, people in business, and people in religion, and to give a new perspective on the issues that brothers are facing today.
Yeah. Good. I was real, and we've been asked, to bring it back, and we had the women to come out too and do where we had the panel of 4 women that we had. Gina,
right?
She came, Gina Pearson, wonderful, beautiful sister, Carlton's wife, and it was just wonderful.
Well, you find out there's a wealth of information among people if you would only ask them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we have so many people in our lives, especially in our community, nobody ever asks them their opinion about anything.
Yeah.
Have a lot to say. It just there's nobody to say it to, which is one of the reasons why we're so thankful for Earl in this radio station.
Oh, absolutely.
To give
We
us an
always have to
opportunity
give
to
him.
express.
Oh,
yeah,
we always have to give him an applause. Yeah. Because we have so many. And what's good about it too is such a wonderful variety that comes here and voice and have a platform to say what they feel. I think that's a wonderful thing. Come on, Carlton, are you out there? But anyway, and then we're going to definitely bring back the lovely Dr. Stephanie Coleman.
Yeah.
Got to bring my girl back. I hopefully we can get her back before the first of the year. This might be a busy season and time for her, but we're going to make it happen. And we got some other guests that we're going to Prince Asiel on, and we just got some good guests that's going to be coming up,
yes.
And share some things. So we're going to be working on a lot of that.
Try to get a guest, one of the guests out of all of the 110 that are in the book.
There he is. Oh. Is that Bishop Carlton Pearson?
In the flesh and live in color too.
That's what I'm talking about.
My man.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Precious. How in the world are you?
Oh, we're in the world doing wonderful. Just missing your presence here in Chicago. That's what Ed was just saying, how much we really miss you.
We just love to share the air with you.
Yeah.
I miss my presence there too.
Yeah. So we want to just dig right in, and so you can tell us all the exciting stuff that's happening with you, Carlton. What's going on?
Well, everything all of a sudden is just really kicking in for the movie, which we've been talking about for almost 10 years. I did the This American Life NPR interview, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago, and since then, Dateline, NBC, and America, Good Morning America, Nylon, and all that stuff aired the story about my transition in theology, my crisis in theology, and how I stopped believing that Christians were the only people who were going to hell. And for some reason, millions of people in this country liked that message. And so now NPR and Endgame with Netflix has actually done a movie on it, and starring Chiwetel Ejiofor playing me. He has fame for being and nominated for an Oscar in 12 Years a Slave.
Oh.
Oral Roberts is portrayed by Martin Sheen. And,
I got that picture.
Did you? Danny Glover's in it, and
wow.
Lakeith from the series Atlanta, the very successful series Atlanta. Just Condola Rashad, who's Felicia Rashad's daughter. She plays my wife and does an incredible job. She came here and spent 3 days with us, and now it's been invited to the Sundance Festival, which is the largest film festival on the planet and one of the most prestigious ones, founded by Robert Redford. And we've been now. Yesterday, I noticed that it says the 16th most must-see movies, and one of them.
Really?
Yeah. Go to that, and they said the 16 top must-see movies.
Oh, Carlton, that is wonderful.
Yeah, we are totally freaked out over this stuff.
Don't be freaked out. You're blessed.
Now, when you found that out, I mean, what did you say?
Well, you know, some of my dearest Christian friends did their best to mute this message, and you know, they demonized me and vilified and said that I'm a heretic, and I understand their position because I used to live at that same theological address, so I'm not angry. What I said was different and stunning, and it was against 2,000 years of entrenched indoctrination, so I don't blame them for reacting the way they did. But the secular world, good news, and this is really gospel, that all sin and sinners have been atoned for, and that there's no fear of hell and no real literal place where people will necessarily spend eternity tortured by an angry God who tells us to love our enemies. It's confused. And so how can God tell us to forgive and he won't, or it won't? It holds 1,000-year grudges and going to torture and torment people infinitely. So that, after my years that I'm ordained in the ministry and a bishop in the Lord's church and all that stuff, and then I had this crisis in theology and changed. I began to share it with my people, not to the extent that I believe it now, but the fundamentalist evangelical church, me and some people just turned away, others turned against, and there's a difference. So where I thought I'd be dead in the water, never a ministry or message again, millions are now, 100 million homes Netflix is in, will have access to this message. And we didn't do it. The church didn't do it. These people, most of them are Jews who love the message because they've been rejected by Christians greatly as well.
And they love you because I mean you're just because you're so powerful, you're so, and what I love about you and I've always loved about you, you're so approachable, you're so warm. You know, a lot of people in your position, they're not as personable and as warm and sensitive as you are, and that's what made Ed and I know, like at church, we could just come up there and talk to you and embrace you, and it was just, you were always so open, and it was just wonderful. One of the things that our producer wanted to know, is there a trailer up somewhere?
Produced it, well, it is, and they're still scoring it. It has to be ready. They don't want anything out until the Sundance Festival.
Okay.
I saw a rough draft of the first edit, and of course, you know, I can't watch it objectively because it's my story, so I'm blubbering through it and remembering stuff I've suppressed in my consciousness for years. So, but other people have seen it, and they just, ex-fundamentalists, a lot of people have seen it, they love it. It really speaks a powerful message, and the audience is allowed to make their own decision. If I had a trailer, though, I would see it. Now, some of the things I should have sent you shows the name of all the actors and the directors and the, you know, and pictures of all those people. That's all over the internet now with Variety magazine, Hollywood magazines, and stuff like that. That's a whole nother world.
Wow. Well, we can include and show some of that even next week.
Yes.
But you know, we're going to do whatever we can to, you know, I know it's going to promote itself, so that little bit of stuff that we do, but you know, we're going to make sure that, you know, we come together and do, you know, in Chicago.
Well, I'm going to do a 30-city tour where I'll bring the movie to a certain theater and watch it, and then do a panel discussion, a Q&A, and just allow people to ask me what I believe and why I believe it. And you know, some will be
wonderful.
I think it'll minister, and then we'll sing. I might have you come in. You just was to come on along with me, baby, on some of them, at least in Chicago.
Okay, we'll be there, no problem.
You and Ed are always going to be my big brother and sister, and I love you like I love my own family.
Well, that's what you are to us, sweetheart. You're more than family. And besides that, what's happening coming up for you? Which that's major, but what else do you have planned for the month of December? I know you're going to will you be at Bodie's this month?
No, we're leaving. My family and I are leaving to the graciousness and generosity of a friend of ours in Africa, South Africa. They're flying us to Thailand for the whole holiday season.
Ooh, Carlton. When do you all leave?
The 18th.
Oh, wow.
Are they going to be able to get the movie in Thailand?
Yeah, they'll get it on Netflix. All over the world.
All over the world.
That's all over.
Yeah.
So, Carl, do you find that there's a sense that some people were actually reluctant to receive the truth at first?
Yes, my own family was. You know, I had family members that disowned me and stopped talking to me, and some people moved out of my town. It was hard, and I sat first with my dad, who's in heaven, and my oldest sister, my mom. I went to my family first, and we debated, and I debated. I played the devil's advocate. I used every scripture I could find to refute my message of reconciliation, ultimate reconciliation of the human race. But I based it primarily on the moral character of a loving God, and in addition to scriptures. But the resistance was, I lost 5,000 members and tens of thousands of followers, millions of people. They didn't all turn against me. They just turned away and said, we have no use for him anymore. We loved him and he was a blessing, but we can't handle this end time false prophet or the Antichrist, or all the terms that we habitually use toward people that we don't understand.
So it wasn't necessarily really you, the person. It was just their belief that they had been taught and fed for so long, and so people just get set in their ideas and their ways. So it wasn't anything probably personal against you.
This doesn't just make perfect. Practice makes permanent in most cases.
Yes.
You've practiced a certain thing for so many years, it's hard to get away from it because it's the only thing you know.
Exactly.
And it works.
You become used to something, whether it's really right or wrong. It's just like you become like, just a comfortable spot.
If you were brought up, if your mom and dad and grandparents and great-grands and great-grand were Muslims, you'd be Muslim.
Yeah.
If they were Buddhist or Hindus or atheists or agnostics, the chances of you becoming that and remaining that are, 75, 85%. So, and now with the pluralistic culture we live in, with the internet and with television, with the mixing of the races and the ethnicities and the cultures, people are now reconsidering what they believe, why they believe it, and many of them are abandoning the religious traditions of their parents and grandparents.
They are. What do you think that? Because I'm kind of finding that. Do you think that people are getting away from church, the actual house of church?
Yes.
Why?
The numbers are large. What happened is, particularly in the black church, the Pentecostal and really Baptist, that genre of religion was a 20th century phenomenon. It helped us through Jim Crow, coming out of slavery. It helped give us structure and community for the 21st century when we're all pretty much living in segregated areas of our cities. Now we've entered the 21st century. We've had our first at least half black American president, and we have judges and senators and congressmen and police sheriffs and doctors and all that. I mean, the black race particularly has moved. So that particular of faith, which was taught to us by our oppressors, was taught to us by European white men and women who made us abandon our African spiritualism and embrace this Western interpretation of Christ and Christianity and stop believing. So we became subject to that. And we found it as some sort of a narcotic to help us with our pain.
Mm-hmm.
And now that with this age of enlightenment, and you know, my iPhone is an Apple phone, as I said, it has a bite out of the fruit. Yeah. So that's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So I'm seeing some knowledge of good that was evil, and some knowledge of evil that may be good. So I'm reconsidering, and I think particularly the younger generation, the millennials, they just don't buy our traditions. They're asking us questions we dared not ask ourselves or our parents.
Yes. Oh yeah, they got a whole different mindset.
Oh my
They
God.
don't see like our youngest grandson, a young lady in his life, and I mean, he said he didn't look at color. You know, she's just a wonderful young lady. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, the young people, they don't buy that. They don't go with that. If you meet someone and you decide to date them, or you fall for them or whatever, it's not about anything but just what they're feeling or how that person presents themselves with them. So young people.
Well, they're seeing integrated couples on television, gay couples on television, couples having babies outside of wedlock and having 2 and 3 children, and then saying we're thinking about getting married a year from now. These kids grew up with that. When we grew up, Ricardo had to sleep in different beds.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Carlton,
So these kids are exposed to a whole different liberal mindset, and they think we're crazy.
Yeah, but and that's the truth too.
So, Carlton, where do you see religion or spirituality moving into the 21st century?
Well, I think you'll see a grandiose, over the next 30, 50, 100 years, religion as we've known it will dissipate and disappear. In fact, this is my personal opinion. I don't want to offend any of your listeners. Particularly the white evangelical church has sponsored and supported Donald Trump, and some of the Nazi. I mean, what would Christians, evangelical Christians, have in common with a Vladimir Putin, white Aryan, white supremacists, and Nazis? How do they work together? And to put this man in, and who is obviously a racist, that has put a blemish on evangelical Christianity that will never be removed. When this administration has ended, the church will be held accountable for their position. And putting in a man who said he doesn't even believe in repentance, and said it openly, and has none of the character of Christ, and none of the family values that this evangelical values folks are supposed to promote. So to me, that's the marking of the end of that kind of religious domination of the culture, and that it'll be more pluralistic. People around the world, my friends from third world nations who were evangelized by the same, are saying, well, what? Walls instead of bridges. They don't want people of color or Muslims or Mexicans in. Why are the Christians so big on this? Why are they the ones that want to kick the Haitians out, and the Mexicans who are some of them are second and third generation Americans, but not documented? We don't get it. Jesus loved everybody and reached out to everybody, and there's hundreds of scriptures that tell us how to treat the stranger and the foreigner with respect and hospitality.
Yes.
Religion is going to have to be rearranged and represented. It's going to change.
Are we going to see changing of the word that maybe won't be religion? A different,
well, new thought now.
A new thought type of spirituality that specific designation is just all about the spirit.
A lot of people get upset when they hear somebody say, "I'm not religious, I'm spiritual," but they're telling the truth.
Right.
And we're going into a new type of. I believe that we are entering the age of Aquarius. Most Christians and a lot of religious people think that astrology is of the devil, but it was the wise men from the east who followed the stars, and wise men still notice the stars. Mom and them, the seasons and the constellations of the stars. So the word pastor, it means stargazer, really. Pasture, because shepherds were out there looking in the skies for days at a time, nights. started studying the stars. So the age of Aquarius is an age of enlightenment and an age of alignment. We're going to come together. We're coming out of Pisces, and that's my birth sign. Two fish with their tails tied and swimming in opposite directions and fighting, and there's a conflict. So the Aquarius is a man pouring water out of a pitcher, and Jesus is quoted as saying in the book of Luke, when you see a man carrying a pitcher of water, he said that to his disciples the night before he was killed. House, that's the literal words. He said, follow him into his house. So the house of Aquarius, the Bible seems to following us, the age of Aquarius into that particular house. So I like it. I feel freer and more enlightened and more liberated. And I'm an old-fashioned classical Pentecostal pew-jumping, devil-thumping, Bible-toting Christian, tongue-talking, you know. And I still out, but I am not into all that dogma and all that doctrine that is so discriminatory and bigoted.
Say that how people try and make God such an angry God and
jealous.
Yeah, well, they do say he's a jealous God, but
well, they
holding grudges. And
yeah,
all.
that's what they say, but God didn't say that.
Yeah.
Well, they've made God out of Santa Claus, making a list, checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty or nice. Jesus Christ. So one of them coming to town. People get confused, and they think he knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you are good or bad. So be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better not. Well, that's church service anymore. And really the same would go with fundamentalist Islam, fundamentalist Judaism, fundamental. Those are the Abrahamic faiths. Of all of them. There's a lot of brilliant young Muslims. Look at the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. They're now allowing women to drive and to mix with men, and they're starting to listen to Western music. And I mean, that generation has changed. That man is moving prophetically. Saudi Arabia is moving prophetically. I hope they don't kill him like they like to kill prophets in any generation. Right. But he's changing the Muslim culture and the young people around this planet who are Islam, and there's about 2 billion Muslim people and Islamic people. They're looking at this, and so are Jews. And they're saying, you know, I'm not into the traditions of my elders any longer. I'm going to be free. If I want to date a Muslim or a Hindu or an agnostic or an atheist, men are falling in love with men, women are falling in love with women, and we can't stop it. What you fight, you ignite, incite, and invite.
And that's true. And I mean, that's across the board.
Yep, it is.
Because people are going to be who they want to be and do what they want to do. And sometimes the freedom to be able to do that, hey, that's life. Here's the life.
I think the movement has just caught on too much with young people to turn it around, to try and put it back in the box or put it back in the bottle. It's not going to work. Because once you taste freedom, you know, you're not selling for anything else.
Yeah. You don't have to hide and sneak, and you feel what you feel. That's why we were saying a little earlier that we just love the fact that Earl Winfrey has this platform for us to be able to come and express and have powerful people to share their thoughts and give us information like you. And it's just a blessing, really, because we don't really have that. You know, just like with Hermine's book, you know, which, by the way, is going really good too, Carlton.
Yeah, she told me about it.
We had a beautiful book party for her too. But it's just a blessing where, you know, we have our own that stand up, stand out, and show up. And that's what we love and appreciate about you. You the man.
Mr. Winfrey has just as much of a prophetic mandate on his life as any preacher has on his or you have on yours or hers, because he has an audience. He is preaching not verbally himself, but he's allowing it. That doesn't mean he agrees with everything that his people say, but he's giving the people a chance to hear a different perspective and to make their own decisions.
Right.
It takes courage to do that.
Yeah.
You know, this is the second time he's allowed a bona fide card-carrying heretic to come on the show.
No, you're not a heretic.
He's cracking up. No, they love you. Yeah. And when you come back here, you're gonna come on again too.
I am.
How long are you going to be gone?
We will be gone till about the 29th of December, and I do a wedding in Atlanta. We come back to Atlanta, do a wedding on the 30th, and then I do the watch meeting service, the New Year's Eve for my friend D.E. Paulk. And then I come home the next day, and we start our 21-day fast, Daniel's fast, where we don't eat meat.
Oh, yeah, you always do that. Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're going to get all your other stuff in before that, Carlton?
Listen, I'm lining
Carlton
up
is a cook, by the way, too.
And a good cook.
Oh, man, he cooks.
I don't care what happens to me. I'm going to always love a collard green leaf, and I'm going to always love a neck bone. So
that's right. So you're going to do it for how long? We might join that.
I normally start the second, because the first of January everybody eats their black eyed peas like the old folks told us, and count our blessings and stuff, and have a good final meal. And then the second day we just go, salads, and some people have soup, but some of us try to I go the first 3 to 7 days with nothing at all, no food, just water. And then when I start eating, I eat nuts and grains and raisins, and fruit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I do that for 21 days, sometimes to the very end of the month. We've been teaching it there in Chicago for years. A lot of people have not gone back to meat yet.
Yeah, I know.
They found out they can live without it. Really.
I'm a vegetarian. I'm just a meat-eating vegetarian.
And this one is too. So he can, yeah.
No, yeah, you eat responsibly and
in moderation.
In moderation.
Yeah. Well, that's what I feel too. I don't feel in deprivation. You have to eat. And just, you don't have to glutton on anything, but just be healthy and like we say, eat.
Just listen to the universe and listen to your body.
Now, there it is, listen to your body. But I think we might join you on that. Now, I ain't going to say we're going to join you with not eating nothing the first week or so and then eating grains and nuts.
No.
We don't know we're going to do all that. But I think, but I can do, I was a vegetarian for 10 years. And then I started back to a strict vegetarian. I didn't even do dairy. And then I started back to eating fried chicken, Harold's at that. And that's what these hips started saying. That's where they started spreading. But we love you. We bless you. And we thank you so much for joining us this evening. Just give us the last word of holiday blessings, and then we're going to talk to you soon.
This is the season for giving, but not out of necessity. You should give out of the cheerfulness of your heart. Don't get stressed out about impressing people who you don't even like, who don't like you, with gifts. Just be more natural this year. And I think if we stop spending so much money buying gifts and have some quality time together around the table and talk. Yes. And don't go in debt and out of guilt. Some people don't give out of love; they give out of guilt. That is retroactively harmful to your soul and your system and your psyche. And it hasn't worked in the past. So I would encourage your audience: enjoy the season, enjoy yourself, enjoy relationship with people that you not only love but that you like.
Yes.
And don't text them.
Stop trying to do the traditional thing.
And try not to text them. Call them on the phone.
You said that again?
I said, don't try to just text everybody. Call them on the phone.
Yeah, absolutely, especially older people, because they don't read text anyway. But call an aunt or an uncle or somebody whose kids are all dead, or they're a widow for the first time. Even if it's a neighbor, find somebody will spend Christmas alone and invite them to your house.
Yes.
And they can have food anytime, but they need fellowship, and do that kind of thing. That's the kind of season we should have, instead of putting all of our money into commercial consumer ships and just
making them richer,
making somebody rich and you poor.
Right. That's right. Well, we love you, Carlton.
You're my man.
Give the family our love. We bless you, and we'll talk to you. Of course, we'll talk to you before you leave.
Well, don't forget us when you're rich and famous. God bless you. Keep you.
Well, Carlton, my show was wonderful, buddy guys, but I'll call and tell you about it.
I'm Hermine. I called him. I texted during the Christmas show. I want to be there next year for sure. Let's make it planned. But you're awesome. Keep singing, baby.
Get that
music. Send me my album. I'll pay for it.
All right.
All right.
I heard that.
Okay.
Thanks, Bishop.
Bye-bye. That was Bishop Carlton Pearson. someone that we love and adore who's just wonderful. And right about now, we're going to hear my original Christmas song. Like me on Facebook.
Twist.
Sing me a song of Christmas cheer. Sing me a song of love. Sing a song of Christmas cheer. Sing a Christmas song, my dear. Laced with love, adoring to my being. Enchant me, excite me, baby. You are all I need. Now it's Christmas time, my darling, my favorite time of the year. So hold me tight, close. I wanna feel you make love to me, sweet love to me. For Christmas time is here. Sing me a song of Christmas cheer. Sing me a song of love. Sing a song of Christmas cheer. Sing a Christmas song, my dear. It's Christmas time, holly jolly time. 'Tis a season filled with joy. Mistletoe, passions glow, intensified so true. Be your Christmas blessing, your enjoyable pleasure to me. Sing me a song Christmas cheer. Sing me a song of love, my dear. Intensified, so true. I'll be your Christmas fixin', your enjoyable pleasure too. My personal wish, my Christmas wish is to be with you tonight.
We're starting out holiday early. And that's one of my originals, written by, lyrics written by the lovely Miss Pamela Wilkes, who just really and truly knows how to put some lyrics and words. Boy, that girl can put some words together and I came up with the melody. Pierre Paula put the music together.
Pam found
So
out.
yeah, Pam knows how to put some words together, boy. That she stays up half the night writing lyrics, and she is fantastic at it.
Pam found out late in life that she was a writer.
Oh yeah, she's a powerful writer too. That girl can write, and I mean, you can say one couple of words, and then she knows who to get them words to, because I know what to do with them words too. So we just come together. We're great together. She furnishes the lyrics, I furnish the melody, and then we make the music happen, and that's a good thing and a very gifted talent, straight from God. So we're here every Tuesday, 6 to 7, and loving every bit of it. Hoping that, like Carlton said, we're starting out early as far as you shopping and getting that festivity together for the holidays. But more than anything is coming together and loving one another and trying to, give of yourself as opposed to a lot of shopping and all of that. It's more important to do something special. Even if you just make a little something, like I mentioned last week, make some little love notes or something like that. But again, we say
something
that,
handmade.
yeah, something handmade is always wonderful. But we say, you embrace life, life will truly, truly embrace you back.
So Zemrah, tell me, where can we go to hear more of your music?
Well, you can go to CD Baby, very, very irresistible. Zemrah is still very live and well. People love it. And just they truly are waiting on Love is Possible, because it is.
CD Baby.
Yeah, CD Baby. And then you can always go to Zemrah1 at yahoo.com. You can always call Wilda Belt, and she can always make sure that you get one at 312-399-6256. And we just love what we do. And, we say, here's the life. All you give is all you get. So give it all you get.
Give it all you got.
All you got. So we say that we got Tone coming up with Truth Seekers. We know that he's gonna give it all he got. He does every week.
Right.
So we
give it up, baby.
Yeah, he knows he comes prepared. He comes to bring it to you. And we know he has a wonderful message for you this week. So again, you're joining Zemrah, Here's to Life, and my better half, Ed. And as always,
she's so smart.
We love loving, we love sharing our thoughts. And hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. And again, like me on Facebook, check out my music at Zemrah Music, and it's all so sweet. Thank you, and have a good evening. Good night.
Good night.
Holly jolly time, Texas season filled with joy. Mistletoe, passions glow, intensified so true. Be your Christmas blessing, your enjoyable pleasure too. Sing me a song, Christmas cheer.